تالتة ثانوي
هانت خلاص، أنا قد التحدي.
خطوة كمان والبكرة هعدي. تالتة ثانوي تالتة ثانوي.
Welcome dear student to our channel Madrasetna 3 under the supervision of Ministry of Education. أعزائي طلاب الصف الثالث الثانوي، أهلا بكم في حلقة جديدة من تدريس الأحياء باللغة الإنجليزية تحت إشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. Okay. Dear student, now we are going to focus about the chapter 4 that related to immunity. New subject in this year, it's called immunity. Inshallah, we will study immunity in both of plant and human being, but restricted in plant, but it's have a many branches, and the human being is divided in 2 lessons. Okay. Now we are going to focus about the learning outcome that related to in this episode or this lessons. That's right. Okay. Focus about learning outcome that related to this lessons. By end of this lesson, the student should be able to, number 1, recognize the concept of immunity and its importance. Recognize the concept of the immune system and its importance for living organism or living organism. Compare between the natural immunity and the acquired immunity. List the pathogens of the plant, invasions, pathogen of the plant. Okay. What is the mean by of immunity? Immunity, it is the ability of the body to resist the microbe and the pathogens through which immune systems to prevent enter to it. Okay, so it is the definitions correctly about the immunity. The living organism, especially the plant, exposures during its life in a many subject from the dangers. From biological source, for example, virus, bacteria, fungus, okay, and many disease. Non-biological source, natural disasters, accident. For example, volcano, earthquake, it's considered non-biological source. There is a 2 types of immunity. Innate immunity. That means that natural immunity. Act the first line of defense. Natural barriers act the first line of defense, prevent enter the microbe and the pathogens to the living organism. And another type of immunity is called acquired immunity, as the result of invasion of the living organism with microbe and pathogens, so it is again acquired immunity. If no infections, no acquired immunity. Both of innate immunity, natural immunity, and acquired immunity, integrations between them to keep the homeostasis or sustainability in the living organism, to defense against the invasions of microbe and pathogens, such as bacteria, virus, fungus. Okay, that's right. Okay. The life of any living organism exposed to the continuous threat, either from biological source, such as pathogens, including some insects, animals, protozoa, okay, fungi, bacteria, virus, or other non-biological source, such as accident, natural disasters, disturbances of the surrounding element of the environment. On the other hand, every kind of living organism develop defense mechanism to survive, still life, to defense against this source, whatever, biologicals or non-biologicals. Okay. From this mechanism are the changing of colors. For example, camouflage is on the chameleons. Chameleons stick camouflages to hidden from the enemy, okay, dangerous enemy. and secretion of toxic substance or toxins to kill other organism or running to escape. Okay, that's right. Okay. The immune system working according to system, which are innate immunity, that represent natural immunity. Act the first line of defense. It's called natural barriers, prevent enter the microbe and pathogens to the systems. And acquired or adaptive immunity. This acquired immunity doesn't occur unless the body invasions with the microbe and pathogen. No invasions of the microbe and pathogens, no acquired immunity. It's okay. Both of them, innate, natural immunity and acquired immunity, working together to defend against the microbe and the pathogens to keep the living organism in a safety to survive without any problems from the invasions of the microbe and pathogens. As the innate immunity is essential for the acquired immunity, there is the integrations between of them to working successfully and vice versa. This correlations allow the body to acting with the pathogens. Okay, that's right. Immunity in the plant. The plant exposure to the many dangerous, okay, causes of death and the harm of the plant. Number one, dangerous enemy. Number two, unsuitable conditions. Number three, toxic substance. First one, dangerous enemy. For example, grazing animals. Grazing animals. Eat the plant. When the plant exposure to the grazing animals, die. No survive. Eating by the grazing animals. Another dangerous enemy, bacteria, fungus, virus. Okay? Causes severe harm and finally lead to death. So it is completely destroyed the plant. The dangerous enemy destroyed completely plants. Number two, okay, unsuitable conditions. Severe cold, low temperatures, deficiency in waters, deficiency in nutrients. These causes can be treated or avoided, okay, after demise the causes. What I mean after demise the causes? After removing the causes, is returning to the normal positions. Still life, okay? Again, focus in this point, very important. Grazing unsuitable conditions maybe causes harm in the plant, but can be treated or avoided after demise the causes. Demise, that means that removals, get away, returning to the normal position. But in the dangerous enemy, the plant not survive because it's eaten by the grazing animals, destroyed virus, bacteria, fungus, and other pathogens. Toxic substance, for example, pollutions from the factory. Most important toxic substance, sulfur trioxide, SO3, causes severe damage in the plant and can be treated or removed after demise the causes. That's right. Causes of disease and death in the plant are limited to three main reasons. Number one, dangerous animals, including the grazing animals, insects, fungus, bacteria, and the virus. Number two, unsuitable conditions, including high temperatures, excessive cold, increasing or decreasing in amount of water, and deficiency of nutrients, and unsuitable soils. Okay. There is a difference between dangerous enemy and another causes, for example, unsuitable conditions and the toxic substance. Both of unsuitable condition, toxic substance, the plant can be treated, okay, or avoided, and returning to normal positions after demise the causes. But in dangerous enemy, destroyed completely. Okay? There is a difference between dangerous enemy and the unsuitable conditions. Okay, that's right. Toxic substances such as smoke and toxic fumes, insecticides, chemical pesticide or insecticides. The untreated sewage, it irrigated the plant. When the plant irrigated with the sewage, exposure to the toxic substance that comes from the sewage, okay? And the following from factors to the rivers and irrigation waters. The first factors often causes severe damage, destroying the life of the plant or causing dangerous disease, whereas the result of second and third factors can be avoided or treated by minimize their causes. These factors, two factors, no problem, not at all. Maybe causes severe damage, but can be treated or avoided after minimize the causes. Treated by minimize the causes. Okay? Also, some element of this third reason may be lethal to the plant. Lethal lead to death completely. That means that lethal. That's right. Okay? Okay? Pay attention, please. How does immune system working in the plant? The plant defends themselves against the pathogen through two ways. First way, achievement of some mechanism through their own structures, known as structural immunity. There is a two types of immunity. Structural immunity, biochemical immunity. Structural immunity as the deposition of some substance. For example, cellulose, lignin, suparin, cutin. This substance is natural, called structural immunity. The structural immunity is divided two types. Pre-exist structural defense, induced structural defense. Pre-exist, already found in the plant as the result of deposition of cellulose, lignin. Okay? That's called the pre-existent. Induced as the result of tearing, cutting, wounded, enter the microbe and pathogens. So it is called induced structural defense. That's right. Immunity, and second way, by responding to secreting a chemical substance known as biochemical immunity. Pay attention, please. Again, there is a two types of immunity in the plant. Structural immunity is divided to A, pre-exist structural defense. B, induced structural defense. Another type of the immunity is called biochemical immunity, by secreting a chemical substance to defense against the invasions of microbes and pathogens. That's right. Okay. Due to the importance of the plant to the humans, so the human using method and introduce means to protect the plant from disease, such as using of other herbicides to protect the plant from harmful weeds, as well as struggling with the insects in the different way, or stimulating the plant to resist disease known as acquired immunity. Acquired immunity, it used and make integrations between the innate immunity, both of them working together to protect the plant from the invasion of the microbe and pathogens. That's right. And producing strains of the plant resistant to disease and insects through the plant breeding, or by using the genetic engineering, it's called GMO. That's right. Okay. Okay. The activations of compound for protection and resistance can transfer from one cell to another, regulate the manner through the transport system in the plant, which corresponded to the blood vessel in the animals. Okay. Now we are going to the first important way. It's called structures immunity. Structures immunity. Structural immunity, what's the meaning of the innate immunity or structural immunity? It acts as the first line of defense. It's called natural barriers. Natural barriers prevent enter the microbe and pathogen to the plant. It's called the structural immunity. Struggles the microbe and pathogens to prevent enter to the plants. It acts as the first line of defense to prevent pathogens from entering and spreading inside the plant. It is the natural barriers, which including two types. Structural immunity pre-exist, It's called the pre-existing structural defense. Number 2, structural immunity resulting as the response to an infection. It's called induced structural defense. That's right. Number 1, pre-existing structural defense. Pre-existing structural defense. Plant, it contains cell wall. Cell wall, it consists of cellulose. The cell wall, it's act as the first line of defense to prevent the microbe and the pathogen enter to the plant. Okay? That's right. A structural defense. In epidermis cells, there is the depositions of the cellulose found in the epidermis. The shape of the epidermis may be thornous, may be hairs, and contain the cuticles. Why? To prevent accumulating the water on the surface on the plant. Why? Because the water is suitable medium for growth, the fungi, and it's considered the microbe and the pathogen to destroy the plant. So it is protected, the plant, from Allah by the positions of the cuteins, cellulose, and the shape of the epidermis may be thorns, spines, spines to protect the plant from grazing animals, dangerous enemy, to eating them. When the grazing element eating the plant, it contains the spines to filling them in the blood to avoid this because it contains the spines. Okay, that's right. This structure defense is represented by the following. The epidermis cells of the plant, the epidermis act as the first bulwark in the resistance. They may be covered with the wax layers to prevent accumulating waters. If water doesn't still on the surface, therefore the suitable environment for growth of fungi and reproductions. Bacteria is not available also. The epidermis may be covered with the hairs and thorns. Hair, no accumulation of waters. Thorns, no accumulation of waters. Okay, and protect the plant from the grazing elements. Beginning eating by the grazing animals, and thus the chance of infections with the disease is decreased. Okay, that's right. Cell wall. Cell wall acts as the first line of defense. It's considered the natural barriers prevent enter the microbe and pathogen to the plant. The cell wall representing the outer protections of the cells, especially the epidermal layers, which is consisted of mainly of cellulose, and after thickened by lignin that make it, so it's difficult for the pathogen to penetrate and enter to the plant. So the cellulose is considered first line of defense. This is considered pre-existing structural defense, found only when the plant is infected or non-infected, in healthy plant and infected plant. This is found in infected plant or non-infected plant. It's called natural barriers, pre-existing structural defense. There is a difference between pre-existing structural defense and the induced structural defense. Is induced as the result of the invasion of the microbe and the pathogens. That's right. Okay. Now we are going to focus about these questions to help you understand, okay, which of the following may not cause severe damage to the plant that lead to its death. Number 1, the deficiency in a soil element. That's best answers. Why? Because this plays an important role in the protect the plant. When the water returning to the normal position in the soils, so it can be treated after demise the causes. Can be treated, demise the causes. But in toxins, virus, fungi destroy the plant completely. So the best answer is a deficiency in the soil element. Another questions, choose the correct answers. Which of the following means of the structure's immunity that are found permanently in the plant? Permanently found before the infections and after the infections. It's called tylosis? No. Cell wall, it is the best answers. Gums? No. Cork. Cork, gum, tylosis, it's called induced structures immunity, found after the infections. But cellulose, the positions, natural barriers found in the plant. So the best answer is cellulose. Okay. Dear student, now we are going to focus about the main point in this lessons through the light board to make abstract that related to in this lessons. Follow me, please, dear student. Dear student, now are going to focus about the main point through this light board. There is a two type of cells. Number one, somatic cells. Somatic cells. Number two, sex cells. For examples, in human being, 46 chromosome. Is divided as a follows: 44 plus XX female, 44 plus XY male. Okay, this is called somatic cells. This is called somatic cells. This represent autosome cells. Autosome cell. This sex cells. Sex autosome chromosome. Sorry, autosome cells in chromosome. Chromosomes. Sex chromosome. Chromosomes. Okay, that's right. In this male, chromosome X, this represent. Chromosome Y, shorter than the chromosome, this X and this Y. Okay? Somatic cells, diploid. 2N. Sex cells, haploid. N. Okay? For examples, sex cells, okay, 22 plus X or 22 plus Y. This is represent gametes. Have number of chromosomes. Okay? Another point that related to in this lessons, gene. Gene, sequence of nucleotide in DNA, represent code of certain protein. For example, adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, adenine, guanine. This nucleotide represents certain code of certain protein responsible for appearance a certain trait. So it is the can definitions this gene. That's right. Dear student, thanks a lot for you. I wish I could see you again. Best wishes. Thanks a lot for you, Mr. Hatem, biology teacher.
تالتة ثانوي
هانت خلاص انا قد التحدي.
خطوة كمان والبكرة هعدي. تالتة ثانوي